I know that if you click this video, you have interest in knowing what it's like to break into the tech industry, and you want to hear from everyday people. And I am honored to have this conversation with Jerra, and she is going to be sharing a little bit about her testimony and what really prompted her to break into the tech industry. So let's dive straight into it. Hello, Jerra. Welcome to Tech Journey.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Such an honor to have you. So you broke into tech. How has it been so far?
Yes, it has been quite the journey. No pun intended. I know that's the name of your channel. Yes, so I broke into tech from not having a traditional sales background. It took me, when I really got serious about it, it took me about 23 days before I got my my offer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I work at a startup. I'm the first and only BDR there. And like I said, it's been a journey, just learning a lot, and just excited to see where this journey takes me.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So when you said 23 days since the moment you got serious, you're referring to 23 days since you started applying to jobs?
Well, no. So I was applying before, but I was just I wasn't consistent, so to speak. I was just applying here and there whenever I felt like it. But I was challenged to do a 30-day challenge, or we applied every day for 30 days until we got an offer. So on that 18th day is when I got the interview for the company that I'm working for now.
Okay.
With them for a few days. And then on the 23rd day of the 30-day challenge is when I got my offer letter.
Oh, well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you are the first and only business development representative. So that's like a real startup.
Yes.
Do you work, are you remote?
Yes, fully remote. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Is this your first time working remote, or did you work remote in the past?
So I was switched to working remote back when the pandemic started, and I was working in higher education.
Okay.
So yeah, I experienced work from home or working remotely for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And then when I moved to Phoenix from Atlanta, because I was living in Atlanta while I was working at that job I was telling you about.
Okay.
When I moved to Phoenix, I worked in a hybrid environment for a few months.
Okay. Nice. I got you. So your job position now, what is the description of your role?
Yeah, so I am defined or considered what you would call a hunter. I find all the prospects that I feel would align with the software that we provide, put them in a cadence, or what they call it, a sequence. I meant to say sequence.
Okay.
I send emails, cold emails. I do cold calling, the LinkedIn outreach, until I'm able to get them to agree to a meeting. And then from there is when the co-founders, they take over and do the demo. And then we have a customer success manager who nurtures the relationship once they become.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. You feel that that's a lot different than your previous role, like your previous career?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was never in a sales position like this before. And I say like this because I work in higher education and in admissions. And, I would go out to high schools and some colleges to recruit prospective students. Then I would call them, get them to sign up for a degree program, and then they would, sign the paperwork and eventually get their degree. So to me, I don't know, what do you think? That's considered sales, right?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, recruiting, I definitely view recruiting as sales.
Mm-hmm. But for some reason, a lot of people don't refer to it as sales. And I think that's, interesting, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Tech is like, sometimes it feels like this members only club, like when you're getting into like the whole tech sales arena,
Mm-hmm.
But that's cool. So tell us this, Jerra, what prompts you to pursue a career, well, first answer me this. How long did you work in higher education?
A total of 7 years.
7 years. Okay. Was that your most recent career before moving into tech?
No, so before moving into tech, I was working at ADP, where I worked in a hybrid environment here in Phoenix.
Okay, I got you. And how long you did that?
I worked there for 11 months.
Okay, I got you. So now we're in tech. What prompted that transition to get like into sales in the tech industry?
Yes. So ultimately, and I say this all the time, my father's passing inspired me to want to get into tech. For one, I knew that it was, working in the space, they do allow that whole work-life balance and, work remotely or work from home. And I needed something like that because, as I reflected on his story and his journey in life, he was waiting until he retired to quote unquote live his life. And, I started thinking and I felt like I was headed down that same direction too. I was working at a good company. They provided, great benefits, but at the same time, I wasn't 100% into it. Like I said, in my mind, I'm like, I think I should retire from here. I'll have great benefits. But yeah, he didn't get to see his retirement, because of his past. And I'm just like, life is short. I want to spend my life doing something that I love, and also one that requires me to have a life where I can travel while working or after work, and then work from a different state or different country, and just experience that whole, work-life balance that I was missing.
Wow, I got you. So yeah, so it's a couple things that popped into my head, like just while you was talking about that. That's sobering, right? So I know on one side it's the work-life balance, it's the flexibility of being able to work remote and to travel. Is there kind of like a entrepreneurial side that maybe is tied into this as well, to maybe like retire sooner than expected?
That would be nice. That would definitely be nice. But even if it doesn't happen that way, to answer your question, yes, I do see myself doing things entrepreneurial on the side. So I'm kind of taking it slow because I have done something before where I was working for myself and I burnt myself out. So yeah, I want to find something where I can tie in my background working in higher education, and then with me having the HR background too, with the interviewing and resume revisions. And I also worked as a career coach in higher education. So it would be great if I could find a way to get into colleges or some high school classrooms, speaking to high school seniors and juniors and teaching them about either tech sales, how to structure a resume, how to get yourself prepared for an interview, things like that, stuff that they should be teaching in high school, frankly. So
Yeah.
I would love to be on the side.
Yeah. Nah, look, and I don't see why you can't. I'm not sure when your father passed away, did your father have any inkling of knowing that you would be redirecting careers?
He knew that I was kind of settling at the job I had before, but in the same token, he would say, you just kind of have to go through the motions in life. And, he gave me the best advice that he could at the time, but he knew that I wasn't 100% happy there. And I just know that he's looking down on me, because I'm happy where I am now. He's looking down on me and he's proud that I made that career transition.
Yeah, no doubt. So it brings me to a question that, and I'm curious about, because it sounds like you really are like genuinely happy. So you see yourself working in the tech field long term. Do you see yourself staying in like the sales arena, or are you just kind of open to moving around as long as it's like tech and remote life?
Absolutely. I'm open to moving around. So again, I was considering also too being a technical recruiter because with my background, I think that ties in perfectly. I mean, I have the tech experience, even though it's not extensive yet, but I have
Yeah.
extensive experience in higher education and HR. So yeah, I'm thinking of being a technical recruiter or, moving up to be an AE, account
Yeah.
executive, for those that may not know what that means. And then, I also attended Careerist for their sales engineer program. So I would love to be a sales engineer. And then if we're talking more long term, I do want to transition into being a chief people officer. So I have it all, mapped out.
I see you like, I'm like, whoa, you like all in. So you went through careerists and course careers, right?
Yes, correct.
So elaborate a little more, Jerra, on what was the job pursuit process like of breaking into tech?
Yeah. So for one, just going back to that 30-day challenge and sticking with that and being disciplined on that, that was one aspect of it. And then we had the follow-ups. So when I would apply, I make sure that I connect with either a recruiter or another BDR or SDR or even account executive, network with them. So yeah, it's power in the follow-up too. So when I would get my interview, I'll make sure that I send the thank you for the interview email. And if I didn't hear back within about 3 days, I'll kind of follow up to see where we were in the process. But it was just me just staying on my P's and Q's with everything.
So you just named like everything that's like textbook perfect. I mean, you talking about like the connection, like with the person at the company, the connection with the recruiter. You even got like your 3-day follow-up down. Didn't you say you sent like a thank you also?
Yep, after the interview, between 1 to 24 hours, make sure y'all, for those that's watching, make sure y'all send that thank you for the interview email, because that does help.
Now, how did you know how to do that? Is that just part of the HR background or?
Well, that too. And also with me working in higher education, I was a career coach and we got trained on what to tell our students to do. So I would apply it to my own job search as well.
Oh, that's what that's Jules. Whoo, I probably learned the more hard way how to get a job. I went through 250 applications.
Oh, wow.
I accepted my job position.
Wow.
But that's the way. Got the job now. Not just looking to hold on to it. All right. All right. So, Jerra, what do you think were the keys to you successfully breaking into tech? So maybe just going a little deeper now. If you had to like just dig within, for every person who's watching it, they're looking at your mild-mannered personality and they're like, Jerra is a hunter. What was the keys? What would you tell somebody? What was behind the success
of me breaking into tech? So yeah, when I had my interviews, I would be myself 100%. Like you said, mild-mannered, but also I have a sarcastic and playful side a little bit. So I crack jokes a little bit here and there. So during my interviews, I would crack jokes sometimes. Then I would always tell my story because people, they love hearing a story. Now, I wouldn't always talk about my father because I just kind of had that discernment with certain interviewers or recruiters, HR managers. I'm just like, maybe I don't think this story will fly with them. So let me just say, have a different version of my story that I shared, about why I want to break into tech and why I felt like I would be beneficial to the tech space based on my creativity, my ability to tell a story, and my background and transferable skills. I always make sure that I highlighted my transferable skills, such as just 3 good examples. I'm very creative. I can connect with people well, and people trust me. So, yeah, I would just highlight those things in addition to making sure I answered their questions in full detail, especially getting the STAR method questions or STAR method responses down. So that was a big thing as well.
Yeah, you can tell you're like a smart, methodical person. I still cannot name to you what the STAR method is. I know it's like important and it's like, yeah, but I still don't know what it is.
For those that may be watching that don't know what it is too, it's situation, task, action, and result. So when they ask you certain questions like, tell me about a time when, you just want to structure your story and make sure you highlight the situation, what happened, the task, the situation, the task, what you did, the action, and then the result of.
I got you. So tell me a little bit about like what kind of time did this take? Because you went through course careers, you took careerists, you had to adapt to understanding the application process. I mean, like what kind of hours were you putting in any given day or in any given week, like with just preparing for this transition into tech?
Yeah, so just to be more specific, are you asking how many hours did I put in when I was applying for tech roles?
I just mean in general, just on average. So let's say I give you my example. So I went through course careers. I was putting in, gosh, I don't know, probably on average anywhere from 1 to 3.5 hours a day. But then even when I ended course careers and I started applying for jobs, I viewed applying to jobs almost as like a job. So I would probably take 2 to 4 hours a day just applying to companies, researching companies, typing up extensive emails to send to the people who doing the hiring, and then actually researching products. So just like over the period of time from the time you said, I want to make this transition, total out of everything, if you had to average it all out, how much time were you investing specifically into the transition?
Yes. So yeah, I would spend about, in the very beginning when I started applying for jobs, I would try to get 100 applications in a day. So I would just do a lot of easy applies and just be all over the place. And I'm like, this doesn't work for me. So then that's when I got more structured. So I would, set a timer on my phone, put it in another room so I wouldn't be checking the phone and getting distracted. So set the timer for about 2 hours and I would just apply. And I made a list of companies that I thought, were in alignment with my background, such as, some ed tech companies, some HCM, things like that. So yeah, I would apply 2 hours a day until the timer went off on my phone. I'm like, okay, it's time to, shut it down and just leave it in God's hands. So, yeah.
I got you. So a person of faith as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So I think we're getting further now into I guess what I want the audience to understand just on this subject here. Tell me a little bit about the type of like mindset or disciplines you think you possess, or that you at least were graced enough to carry into transitioning into tech.
Yeah, so I'm a huge proponent of my environment. Not just talking about, where I live, but people that I choose to surround myself around. I cannot be around people that's negative or don't want to advance in life, and who are just, content with where they are and don't want to do anything more. So, not to judge them or anything like that, but that's not the energy that I want to associate myself with. So I was always cognizant of, being in the right rooms, networking with the right people, so that way we can advance together, or I can try to catch up to them.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. All right, so I got you. So that's the big thing is it sounds like you being able to discipline yourself to being in be in the right soil, to be in good soil
Exactly.
for that plant to grow and blossom healthy.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you got a lot of discipline to you. Like you said, you put your phone on a timer and put it in the other room. Jerra, I don't know if you think that's normal or not, but it's not like normal human behavior. Just kind of like FYI. Just for you to understand that takes a level of discipline. So yeah, I mean, so for the viewers who are viewing as you're considering breaking into tech, I mean, I think that's good information for people to understand, right? I mean, you saying you're taking 2 hours a day to apply to a job. It takes work ethic, especially going into an area that you're unfamiliar with. And I just think that tech, like I'm in tech and I'm a content creator. Those are two things that people usually have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about when I tell them that's what I do. What do you do? I'm a content creator, huh? But right, so you're going into an arena like tech. That's a learning curve. Like you have to really put in a lot of energy and focus and discipline in order to make that transition. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could start all over again, or if you had to start all over again, would you do anything different to prepare yourself for getting into the industry?
Absolutely. I would have started a lot sooner. Like when I first felt the discomfort with my previous job, I wouldn't have waited around until, things quote unquote got better or things like that. I would have, I wish I would have learned about course careers a lot sooner. Taking the course a lot sooner.
Yeah, no doubt. And you happy?
Yes, I am.
Oh man, no doubt. Well, yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you sharing all of that. And yeah, I mean, sometimes hindsight, it is an interesting thought, like you think about something like course careers. It's like me and my wife did it, and it's like, okay, I'm dropping, whatever it was, $450 with the coupon. And it's like, okay, well, I dropped that. I started this journey, got some knowledge, and then now I'm making a job that's making, generous income, and I only work from Wi-Fi. Like, it's like I don't think about it as much now, but when I think back, I'm like, dang, that's like crazy. Like we really stepped out on faith. Like signed up for some online course, and like we're really like doing this thing, like working in the industry from behind our laptop.
Yeah. And what's crazy is too, it didn't take a college degree to make the amount of money that we're making. And I know this sounds crazy with me from working in higher education for so many years, but yeah, I'm just ready to educate people that's, coming behind me, people that's younger than me, so that they don't make the same mistakes that I did with taking out a whole bunch of student loans, thinking that that's the only answer to get a good job and make a decent career. I mean, a decent salary.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, and it's doable. I mean, I get happy sometimes when I go through like the videos and the interviews that I do with people, because it's a reminder, it's like these are real people. This is a real industry, and it just opens up so much opportunity. Speaking of that, you got a YouTube channel, huh, Jerra?
I do. Yes, it's called the Tech Auntie.
Oh my goodness! And you just started this up recently?
Yeah. Yep. I just started. I'm going to get more consistent with it.
You're good, but you're going to be dropping gems. Look, at the end of the day, people, they want to hear real stories from real people, and they want to be able to watch videos and take away practical knowledge that they can apply to their lives and add value. And you already know, Tech Fam, the link going to be in the description. So go ahead and click that and follow Jerra. We're going to have the LinkedIn also in the description. Make sure you can connect with her there. Anything you want to leave with the audience, Jerra?
Yeah, so going back to what I was talking about with, environment, be cognizant of who you choose to let in your circle, and don't be afraid to, step out alone if you have to. If you find that people around you are toxic, and if you're trying to advance in life, you don't need that energy bringing you down. So for me, my circle is really, really tight, and it might have to end up being the same for you in order for you to advance and succeed in life. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share.
Until we see each other again, Tech family, we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.